Hey everybody, and welcome back to Fresh Set. I'm Sabrina,
And I'm Kevin.
and he's hungover. Well,
I'm not.
I don't know.
I'm
Are you
not.
hungover? No?
No,
Okay.
no. I wanted a lot of water in the night, but I wasn't
Yeah.
hungover. No, no.
Okay. So, for anybody that doesn't know, it was Kevin's birthday yesterday, Vegas Grand Prix. So we had to indulge. Vegas shirt that he's showing with Max Verstappen on the back with the number one, which
For no reason whatsoever.
looks like he might keep the number.
It
So
might. We'll get into that at the end,
he
what my
he might.
predictions are. But
Yeah. But before we jump into the race and all of that, if you are not already, make sure you head over to social media, like, follow, share, subscribe at Fresh Set Podcast on all social media, and then wherever you get your podcasts at Fresh Set, like, share, subscribe, follow, comment, all the cool things. But yeah, so we did something different yesterday. We actually we wanted the Vegas vibe.
yeah, the Vegas one.
And the Vegas vibe.
As close as we can get it.
Yeah. And so we went to the casino
Yep.
and watched the race at a
In the sports
casino.
bar, yep.
Yeah, which was really cool, actually.
It's actually a really cool spot. It is a
Yeah.
really cool spot, yeah. It was packed. There's TVs everywhere. As long as they
Yeah.
stopped switching which side the race was playing on.
Yeah.
It was actually a really cool spot.
Yeah. I mean, we got Bianca to get them to switch the TVs to where we wanted them, so the
Yeah.
races. But yeah, fun watch. But yeah, Vegas,
And it didn't disappoint.
it did not disappoint. I have to say, Vegas has caused a lot of stress to everybody over the
3
years of
years that
like,
it's been.
yeah, like, the building and tearing down the strip, not tearing down the strip, but like messing with the strip and
Yeah.
the palm trees and how they're hemorrhaging money. All 3 years there have been amazing
Amazing.
racing.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
And just chaotic too at some points.
yeah, yeah,
It's hard to understand where, and it's been like this every year, where
yeah,
free practice one or all the free practices, and then you get to quali, and everything looks so slippery, and it looks like they can barely keep it on track. And then you get to the race, and it's just pure speed. Nobody usually has much of an issue. There are certain ones, but it's not usually as big of a deal as we see it there. So
yeah,
we're waiting for disasters. There's no disasters, and it's just great
yeah.
racing.
Yeah. I wouldn't say it has been one of my favorite races or favorite tracks, but I think this weekend, just with the disaster of what it was, I think it kind of, not my favorite race, but
It's
it's
definitely
becoming
not.
a favorite track.
It's definitely not my favorite track. This has
Yeah.
been one of my favorite races of the year.
Yeah. It
All
was
3 years.
just,
It's just been really good.
yeah. So
Yeah.
starting on free practice, there were a bunch of red flags for an issue that won't go away.
No.
Is these manhole covers.
So the first one was a drainage cover, I believe, the little small
Yeah.
one that hit Charles. This one was a full-on manhole cover, which I would assume is a little bit because they welded down the drainage covers. These ones they bolt down because they still need access to them if they need to.
Yeah.
But it didn't seem to be bolted down well enough that as the drivers are driving over it, because it's right on the racing line, a marshal can see it move and lift, and there's pictures of it like off the ground.
Yeah. Just like popped up a little bit.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're riding your car very low, it could have been a problem.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we didn't see it do what it did to Carlos's car, and
It was still attached.
rip off the bottom
Yeah,
of the car. But it was still causing issues 3 years later. But yeah, so a couple red flags for that. Practice, other than that, pretty normal.
Yeah, again, just
Lando looked fast.
a lot of people just signs looked fast all
Yeah.
practice,
Yeah.
but a lot of people just trying to find that grip. Wasn't a lot of heat in the tires or temperature in the tires. A lot of
No.
running into the runoffs. A lot of back end sliding, especially when you get through that chicane
Yeah.
section. Yeah,
Yeah, and I think one thing we forgot to mention, if you didn't see in the news, because it was on the news, was that Vegas and California, but Vegas, because this is where the race is, has been this past the week before the race, has had like historical rain
yeah.
plus flooding. So the track was actually flooded come I think Tuesday or Wednesday.
No, I think it was Wednesday. Two
Was
days
it even
before.
later? Yeah.
Yeah, 2 days before they were actually supposed to be on track.
Yeah. So flooding, it was like they're not even supposed to be, when I'm sure when F1 planned this, they're like, oh, desert race. We know they didn't prepare for
Well,
cold weather.
two of the driest places
Yeah.
that they like California, you're thinking of like California, and they got record rain. Well, at least for them, record
Yeah.
rain.
Yeah.
And to Vegas's credit, the streets of Vegas are designed to flood and bring all that flood water to. So when you see it, you see literally 6 inches of water on the ground and on the road, but it's designed to actually collect and move it all away pretty efficiently,
Yeah.
which it did.
So, which,
We
yeah.
just didn't know if the rain was going to stop.
No, it was just, and it's not, again, this is, obviously there's places that, like a Japan, that they get the rain
Spa,
weather, Spa,
Silverstone.
but on top of the temperatures that they were also
Yeah.
experiencing, there were, that nobody thought about, that the desert gets cold at night. But yeah, so that was a couple days before, then free practice. Then we have quali, which is raining
Rain.
and wet.
Yeah.
And so much so that it's our first qualifying this year that the drivers actually had to be on full wets.
Full wets. I think it's the
Full wets and
I think
inters.
it's the only time
Race.
they've ever gone to full
Yeah,
wets.
full
I don't
wets.
think
I
we've
don't-
seen a full wet this year.
No, there was inters.
Everybody tried
was
inters.
there?
The only two people
Yeah.
that didn't try inters, the three, I think it was Hulk and the two Aston Martins came out on full wets first.
Yeah.
And then immediately as everybody else is coming out on the inters, like, nope, we need to change right away.
Yeah, no, this is not working. So Q1, it was still, I just watched the recaps because I was out, but it was still raining, right? In Q1?
It rained all the way through Q1. I believe it started to drizzle or to die off around Q2, or at least halfway through Q2. But everybody still stayed out. Some people would switch to intermediates. Nobody ever went on to a slick throughout the whole session. And it's worth mentioning that not only could they have to go onto full wets, but because of the rain and because of the temperatures, they couldn't keep tire temperature in their tires. So nobody actually, where you go out for your run and then you come back into the pits, they just stayed out on track and they just kept running over and over and over and just kept trying to find space somewhere because they couldn't risk losing any temperature in those tires, which a couple of teams were warned about adding too much temperature to their tires before they went out.
Yeah. So kind of the biggest action I would say that happened in Q1 would be Albon on a great flying lap, and just he clips the wall and just totally loses everything, loses the tire and the axle. It's still attached, but it's just
he loses that
there.
He loses that back end, and his back end
Yeah.
clips, and then his front end clips, and it just destroys the front right, I believe it was.
Yeah. So Albon in 16th, Antonelli, a little bit of a shocker there in 17th, 18th, or Bortoleto, 19th, Tsunoda, which seems to be his, usual spot. And then the biggest shock of all, and speaking of historic, not so good historic, 20th is Lewis Hamilton. Which he becomes the first Ferrari driver since 2009 to start in 20th.
Yep. And
I
the
was
first time
out.
he's ever been out in last in his career on
Yeah,
pace.
on pace. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And
And
I
shouldn't have run over a Bullard.
I was out that night, and so I messaged you. I'm like, why is he out? What happened? Because I just saw, and you're like, "Ugh, this is what happened.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, we'll talk about it a little bit later, but definitely a season to forget for Lewis.
And you can, and he said it himself, and you
Yeah.
can see how much the rain was affected, because I think the first run they had in Q2, the top time was in the 2 minutes and 2 seconds, a full 30 seconds from what a regular tire would do.
Yeah.
It was absolutely, and even still, I think the top time of the day was a 1:47, almost a 1:48. Like that's how much water and how slippery this track was, that they couldn't even move and they couldn't get temperature.
Yeah, and I mean they do have along that back straight, which is like we'll call it the Charles Leclerc corner.
Yeah,
At
that
the end of
chicane
that
there.
back straight,
Yeah.
that chicane is almost 90 degrees each way. So it's like if you're flying down there, like we
Or if
wouldn't be
you're-
able to do it at 100 kilometers an hour, and they're doing it at
you're turning that quickly. Like you could easily just lose the back end. I think that's
Yeah.
isn't that where Albon lost it? Maybe not. Maybe
I
somewhere
think
else.
coming out a little bit
Yeah.
further up, but yeah. So Q2, like you said, Q1 everybody was kind of split a little bit, full wets or the inters. Q2 everybody was like, yeah, no, this is full wets.
Yeah.
So nobody tried anything there. So Q2 we have in 11th Hulkenberg, Stroll 12th, Ocon 13th, Bierman 14th, and Colapinto 15th. Kind of normal.
Yeah.
And then by Q3, everybody switched back to Inter. So like you said, the rain had kind of stopped or drizzling. They were getting a dry line on track.
Point, yeah.
So if there is a somewhat dry line, like you said, they didn't go to slicks, but Inters were going to be good enough. There was a yellow flag while Lando was on a fast lap.
Yeah, but it was behind him, not.
It was behind him, so he was able to keep going.
No.
But he almost lost it.
No, yeah, that's what it was, yeah.
But he nearly, again, nothing to do with the yellow flag, just kind of almost loses his back end, and almost goes into the wall.
Almost, yeah. But that was on his last run of quality, so actually time had run out. And at this point, Max has provisional pole at a 1:48. Lando puts up the first two sectors where he's already at 0.9 seconds ahead of Max.
Yeah.
And so even with almost losing it, he still finishes, what is that? That's 0.03 of a second ahead of Max. So you can see the track improving. You can see how hard he was pushing, almost so much so that he ruined his run.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's important to say Max was on provisional pole, but before Max finished his lap, we had Carlos Sainz on provisional pole.
Yep.
Just pulling something out of that.
And Max didn't beat him by much.
No. I actually thought when Max crossed the line when I was watching it, I didn't think he made it.
No, because he was green sector all the way through. He had no purples.
I'm like, I don't think he made it. And then somehow he did. And then Lando came and stole that.
Just destroyed it.
Yeah. And then so we end up with Lando, pole, Max in second, and Carlos in third. Which the other notable, in the championship drive that we're looking for, Oscar Piastri sitting in fifth.
Not a good.
No.
I mean, it's raining.
Not bad, but yeah. Which he's got Russell ahead of him. Sainz is the poor guy that's just in the middle, like of the battle in front, the battle behind. Just like, what am I doing here? But yeah, so then we get to the race and no rain.
No rain, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't supposed to rain. It wasn't going to rain. I don't think they had anything forecast, but it was
Yeah.
cold.
Yes.
It
Yeah.
was cool. So much that it was Anthony Davidson,
Mm-hmm.
is that his name? Was
Mm-hmm.
wearing a full on parka. I didn't think it was that cold. Not that I was
Yeah.
there, but
Yeah.
I mean, if a spring jacket would have just done just fine.
Yeah,
But yeah,
probably.
we get to the race, and I said it to you for some reason. I don't know why still that Yuki was going to start in the pit lane because Lewis was
Yes.
supposed to be starting 20th.
Yeah.
He obviously must have changed something, but I didn't see anything of what he had changed or why he
No.
had started in the pit lane. Either way, he was there. My conspiracy, as soon as I saw Yuki in the pit lane, Max was winning this race.
Yeah.
To me, it was done.
Yeah.
I knew that coming around that formation lap that Yuki was going to go as slow as he could to try and cool off Lando's tires before
Yeah.
and to my surprise, yes he did, but Lewis seemed to be going even slower than everybody else.
Yeah. Lewis was like, you know what?
He was backing everybody up.
Fuck all y'all. He's like, I'm just here for a Saturday drive, a Sunday drive on a Saturday. And I'm just trying to do the best that I can. But yeah, Lewis was just
Slow getting off the
puttering.
line, slowing it back to his spot. It was just I was baffled at what he was doing. But he
Yeah.
did it and it helped.
Yeah.
So this way it didn't look like Red Bull were being too shady. Even though
Yeah.
they were, probably.
And so Yuki eventually gets to the
gets
the
there,
line
yeah.
so they can put the lights on and then put the lights off. Which they both get a good start. We end up seeing the math or the times that Max did get the better start
Slightly, yeah.
by
0.3
0.3.
seconds. 0.03
Yeah.
seconds.
Yeah. But Lando, insane cutting across to cut Max, to make sure Max doesn't get ahead of him.
And
Which they all did.
I watched the replay. Lando's not turned in toward Max to defend.
No.
He's on his line. I think he's just assuming he's going to get the better start. And then as soon as he sees Max get a slightly better start, he comes over so aggressively. And it's like he has to make the decision, am I going to brake or am I going to defend? And he chooses this weird defending maneuver instead of maybe I can get to the line first and still make that turn. Which,
Just get to the apex, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But he gets to that corner and he's got no brakes left. He actually overruns it. And Max is just like, thank you. I'm going to take my line wide here. And then you're going to have to back out.
Yeah. And Lando goes incredibly far off track.
Yeah.
So much so that George Russell is also like, I will take this position. Thank you very or not George.
George, yeah.
Yeah, George came out of nowhere from fourth. He had passed Sainz already, or gotten ahead of Sainz, I should say. And he was able to take Norris and be like, thanks, I'll take this position. And Lando quickly drops to third. For a risky, I think he probably saw him in the peripheral and just, it's almost as if he panicked. Like the way he cut over, and they all do it. They all try and cut ahead to block the racing line. Smart thing to do, but
This looked like you were cutting somebody off that pissed you off in traffic.
yeah, this was aggressive.
Yeah.
And okay, yeah, we don't really get starts, we don't see starts like this, but had this been anywhere else during the race, other than the start, that would have been a penalty. You can't cut across like so aggressively like that. But yeah, I mean, the penalty was you played yourself, really. And he lost his position.
Lost the position. Yep.
David Coulthard actually commented on this later.
I
don't know
did
if
see that.
Did you
That
see this?
was the best.
And he basically said Lando's tried to play Max's game, but he doesn't know the rules.
The rules, yeah.
Fair.
I think he just played right into Max's game with the head games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just, Max is going to be able to do it better than you.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
And then we get to watch about a lap and a half.
Mm-hmm.
About a lap and a half. No, coming into the second lap, just after the second lap, we see Max trying to get away from George. George is sticking to Max. pretty closely, probably about between what, zero point 0.6, zero point 0.8 seconds usually,
Yeah.
about that, to zero point 0.5 maybe as close as he got. And then all of a sudden we see a yellow flag, a VSC, and 8
Yeah.
marshals running across the track with cars coming right at them.
Yeah.
What is going on here? Have they not realized that you can't walk on the track unless you have the virtual? This was just as they're putting up the virtual safety car. There's cars right there. What are they doing? And we find out that we didn't know at that point, but all this shit started happening in the back.
Yeah, in the back.
We did.
Yeah, the camera didn't even pay attention to what was happening
No.
at the back. At this point, Stroll was out.
We didn't see that.
We
had no
didn't
idea.
see. To this moment, I still don't know what happened to Stroll. Well, I do know what
We
happened,
saw the replay,
but
yeah.
like, it was just like he's gone, and it was very quick. Usually, it takes a minute for like the car to be pulled out of wherever, driven back,
Yeah.
and then it eventually changes to the person out. But it was like, oh, Stroll got hit, out.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, so Gabriel Bortoleto hit Lance Stroll
Yes.
from a lockup on that opening stint.
Albon hit Lawson, I believe.
Yep.
No. Lawson locked up, and he had nowhere to. No, so the person in front hit someone. I can't remember who it was. And Lawson
Hamilton
had nowhere to
hit
go.
somebody
Yes.
too, or Hamilton got some. I think Hamilton Albon.
Yeah, and then Lawson had nowhere to go, and he hit the car beside him, broke his front wing. We saw that because he was running behind with that broken right section of the front wing, and then Albon hit somebody else. I can't remember. Broke his front wing as well.
Yeah. Just drama, all kinds of stuff. But the good piece of drama, which I thought good for Hamilton and good for Antonelli, both of those, one starting in 17th and then one starting in like a Delta 19, Hamilton starting in that 19th position. They were up to, I think, 10 and 12. Can't remember which one was where, but very quickly. With all this drama happening, it played into their hands, and they were able to move up pretty quickly. You were saying Antonelli pitted
Lap 2 on the VSC.
Yeah.
And so he switched. He started on, I believe, was a medium, and went straight to the hard tires.
Yeah.
With the idea he could move through the pack, and then they were gonna, I guess, see what happened for the rest of the race. Spoiler alert: he took them 48 laps to the finish.
Yeah. Well, did he go to the finish? Because
Yes.
he had a. What about his penalty?
He went 40. He still served it. No. Well, I guess he didn't serve it.
That's how he ended up where he ended up. Maybe. Now that I think about it.
Either way, he takes them 48 laps.
Yeah.
He took them all.
Yeah,
He only
he
had one
does-
missed lap.
Yeah.
Yes, he had the 5-second penalty for jumping the start, which was he jumped the start by a thousandth of a second, and he moved like a centimeter. And I get that
Yeah.
he jumped the start, but that's a lot.
It's because based on the ones that we've seen this year, and there have been a few false starts that we've seen. Different people. Lando had one. Oscar had one. Hulk, I think, had one.
They've been
And
very
they've been
obvious.
Yeah.
Like this one, they searched for. They had to search for it. Like they had to look, and you had to go back and forth. Like, wait a minute. And the only thing you could tell was you can see the lights off the track shift on the tire ever so slightly.
Yeah. And it really was. And even the slow-mo, replay of it, they have to like make it the slowest possible slow-mo for you to actually see it happen.
That this is where he moves, and this is where the lights go off. Because it's a couple of frames.
Yeah.
In that video.
It was, they probably ended up having to do that. They were like, it's not even a video, it's a photographer, like the frame by frame, like the burst. So he gets a 5-second penalty.
I will say though, it's just for him, for his stats. He moved up, he moved up 12 places on pace.
Yeah.
Took his tires 48 laps, even with a 5-second penalty. We won't talk about where he finished. We'll talk about that after. But
yeah. I mean, just
he had a great drive. I don't know. Was he not? No, he was not driver of the day, was he?
No,
No, I don't know how he wasn't driver of the day.
I don't know
I don't know
either.
how he was. Yeah, no, he
I
should
mean,
have.
I do know based on the results. I think we can kind of surmise, but
I wouldn't put that
um,
based on results though,
yeah,
because the driver of the day had a pretty easy time by the end of it once he got
yeah,
through the first 10 laps, let's say.
yeah, yeah. Um, lap
Anyways,
20. Oh yeah, lap 23. Lando comes in for his first stop. You know, a little bit of panic, but he has a 2.5 second stop, which was fantastic. And then I think right after that lap, we hear McLaren say to Lando, let's hurry. We're doing this because you're fighting George.
yeah, we're fighting P2, basically.
Yeah. So George ends up backing off, not backing off, but he's just not able to catch Max. So that's no longer what he's doing. Max goes off and does his own thing.
Yeah.
But not leading by 15 or anything like what we've seen the
No,
McLarens do, what
seems
we've
at
seen
five,
Max do.
six.
Yeah. And then it would, come a little bit smaller, that gap. But yeah, so it was interesting so early on to hear McLaren basically saying,
We're not going to catch.
almost forget Max.
Yeah.
We're actually fighting George. And you
Well,
guys are jockeying position 2-3. So
it's the safe play. I mean,
yeah.
you're only going to go for Max. Or you're not going to go for Max. You're already, especially if it's Lando, like you're leading the championship. All you have to do is just bring it home. Let's
Finish.
just
Yeah.
safe play here.
Yeah. I mean, Lando can finish.
He can finish second the rest of the way. If he won,
He-
even last week, he could have
Yeah.
finished second all the way through and still would have secured a championship.
And still would have
or
won.
even,
Yeah.
a couple seconds in a third, and he still would have,
Yeah.
I believe, still finished with the championship.
With the championship, yeah. So, I mean, maybe it is a team strategy. Like, we're just going for safe drives. Let's not do anything too much to the car. Don't defend too much. Don't, fight too much. We just got to get the car to the end. Which, sometimes that's like, okay, well, why would you do that? But there are scenarios where a car will just fail on you, and the driver's like, the car feels fine, and the team's like, yeah, no, shut it off. So yeah, just drive it safely. But as you mentioned, that seemed to spark a fire in Lando, because he was like, yeah, no, F that. I want to win.
Yeah.
And then, it kind of just goes, I mean, Max goes into the pits at one point. But when he comes out, and whoever was behind him at that point, I want to say it was Charles, but I could be wrong.
I believe it was, yeah.
He was like 20 seconds ahead or something. Like, again, just based on people going into the pits and when they go in and all that. So it was like the Delta time. But Lando eventually gets to a point where he's like, oh, okay, he is hunting Max. And you're kind of like, okay, maybe this is actually going to happen. And we're probably in it was 50 laps. So it was probably in the early 40s, late 30s that we see him like really hunting him down.
He's gotten past George at this point.
Yeah, past George, who is then fighting Piastri, right?
That one was, I think Piastri was a little further back at that point.
Yeah.
But that would have been his next target. I don't think he got that close though.
No.
I could be wrong. I can't remember because we were just focused on the other one. But
yeah.
Yeah, and Lando's engineer, I forget what his name is, comes through the radio. Will Joseph, yeah. He comes through the radio and says, all right, Max is ahead of you. Let's go get him.
Mm-hmm.
And Oscar. Lando is just, okay, let's go. Let's fight. I can make up what he was 5 seconds, 6 seconds at this point, maybe ahead of him. Right away. Maybe, this is where we're seeing it in the broadcast. I'm sure it happened a lot quicker, but right away, GP comes on the radio, and very calmly just says to Max, we don't hear a response from Max. We just get GP saying, Lando's been told to come get you. this is where he's gaining, like turns 11, 5, 17 is where he's saving time. Great. Max puts up fastest lap after fastest lap after fastest lap.
Max is like, here's a thumbs up. Read between the lines.
Max gets told this in the same lap that Lando gets told to go get him. And Lando does not take a tenth out of Max for the rest of the race.
Yeah. In fact, he starts to lose.
Yeah, well, when we get to 45 laps, I believe, something like that, we just start seeing that gap going from, it went from like 5.5 to 5.8 to 6.2, and then all of a sudden it's at 10.2, and then it's 12.5 or whatever. It's big chunks. We can see that Lando is obviously, there's some issue with the vehicle, and he's not pushing it at all. He's just trying to get home to the finish line in second, save as many points as he can, because something is wrong.
Yeah. And we end up finding out he was told to do LICO, lift and coast. And I said to you before we got on here, it almost seemed like he was on, like, usually with LICO, it just means don't attack. So just literally lift, continue where you're at right now, but just don't push it too hard. But with him, it kind of looked like it was like lift and decrease. Yeah. He just kept dropping back, so much so that it brought George into contention. Final lap.
2 seconds behind by the time they crossed the finish line, and he was 20 seconds or 30 seconds ahead of George.
Yeah, and so I think even on the broadcast they said, give George one more lap, and
he got
Lando would have been in third. I don't think Lando could have fought him at all.
So I did see something, and I was mentioning to you, I don't know if it was confirmed, but apparently there was a fuel misjudgment in his car, which would have put him below the required, I believe we have to have 1 liter of fuel left in the vehicle, so they can test it afterwards, which if they had 1 liter less, he would have been disqualified, or less than 1 liter. So that's what I had read somewhere. I can't remember exactly where. It was not confirmed. It could have been the other issue that the McLarens had. But either way.
Yeah. But I mean, again, I was kind of, last week we talked about, to making the changes for Qatar, about why are we waiting till, the second last race to make a change on the tires? Why are we at the third last race not able to figure out our fuel? And again, if that is genuinely,
if that's what it was,
if that's genuinely what happened, because again, his car seemed fine. Lando didn't get into any sort of tussles or accidents. No. And again, the cars can just fail at certain points. And
as far as we know, it wasn't a mechanical failure.
Yeah, it was, but yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, with that, and when we have our race result, we know Max has won the Las Vegas GP with his full 25 points. Lando does save it in second with 18, so Max is technically not out of the running. George in third, Oscar in fourth, Kimi making his way all the way up to P5 from 17 on that one-stop strategy from lap. Well, everybody was basically on a one-stop strategy unless you had damage, but he did it from lap 2. And then below there, where was it?
Where did Hamilton finish?
Then Charles after Kimi, Sainz, Hadjar, Hulkenberg, Hamilton, Ocon, Behrman, and then so on and so forth. It doesn't really matter the other ones. With 3 DNFs, Albon, that was 10th.
Oh, 10th, okay.
10th for Hamilton. With 3 DNFs, Albon, Bortoleto, and Stroll.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, even 10th for Lewis, starting 20th, 19th. It's not horrible. No. You got point. You got a point.
You got a point. And and that crash in the beginning helps him. You see him just kind of go around a bunch of cars. That gains him 4 or 5 positions right off the bat. Mm-hmm. So he's only fighting 15-10. So it's not terrible. Wasn't a great result for him. Wasn't a great weekend for him.
No.
But yeah.
Yeah.
But wait.
But wait, there's more.
There's more.
It's an infomercial.
Very quickly after all the awkwardness of the ceremonies and all that other crap, Lando swearing on the driver interviews, which Terry Crews takes them in a Lego Cadillac.
Yeah.
All the way, and it's not just, obviously it's not the first year, they've done this every year. They take them in front of the Bellagio Hotel to do this just to talk to them, and then bring them back again across the longest track in F1 on the season, all the way back in a Lego car, so it's slow as hell, back to exactly where they were for podium ceremony. Which I don't know if you knew, but the Mickey DJ was not live.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
I was like,
They said, let's turn it over to Mickey for this, whatever.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even
and
live. It was just
Offended.
pre-recorded. Yeah, that's really
Offended.
shit. Yeah. Like, way to ruin the magic of Disney here.
Yeah. That is
but,
what ruined it. Yeah, for sure.
Shortly after, and this is probably about an hour after all the ceremonies are done, both McLaren paddocks are like the garages are covered over. There's reports, and then we see the report from the FIA scrutineer that the plank wear on both McLarens, not just one, is below the minimum required thickness. So
And it's
required
being
thickness is
investigated.
9 millimeters. Both of them were at 8.8 something or 8.7 or whatever it was. There was in the 8s, but it was just 0.1 or 0.2, 0.3 less than the thickness that it should have been. And then it's going to the FIA stewards for investigation. So both drivers go over there, and we find out. I passed out. I saw the original report, and then I passed out. And I woke up this morning, and both McLaren drivers have been disqualified.
Yeah.
I've got a big smile on my face.
Yeah.
I knew something was happening. I knew something was gonna happen.
And it's funny because you said it was going to be the race. You're like,
I thought it was somebody
going to be. Yeah. You're like, the McLarens are going to come together. Like, Lando's going to take somebody out. Like, you knew. And I mean, I agree. I did think that it was all just going to become too much for the McLarens. With Oscar qualifying 5th, I was like, okay, maybe it won't be the two of them coming together, but there will be something. But I mean, we're both kind of witches at this point.
With all, I've got my voodoo dolls here. I got a plush McLaren. What do you call it? The car.
Yeah.
That I stick pins and needles into.
That's funny.
I reflected on it today. We went through the first half of the season thinking there's no way McLaren's going to win. It's going to be between Oscar and Lando. And all we kept talking about was, is it Oscar? Is it Lando? Who's being favored? Who isn't? All that other stuff. But it was basically deadlocked. McLaren's winning this.
Yeah.
McLaren is winning a driver's championship.
Yeah.
We get to the break and Max starts winning or just closing that gap a little bit. And like, oh, this would be great. But it's very unlikely. We get to the last 3 weeks and I'm thinking something's going to happen. Something, and you said it too. There's going to be mechanical failures. There's going to be fuck ups by McLaren. And there's the big fuck up from McLaren here. Somehow they fucked it up mechanically. That screwed both the drivers.
Yeah, it's
going to go down to the last race.
Yeah, and who would have thought? And okay, you think, oh, it's going to go down to the last race between Lando and Oscar. No, it's going down between the three of them. And, you know, we come up, or we don't come up with, but there's all these, this is how it's mathematically still possible that George Russell can still win. This is how it's mathematically possible that Max can still win. All of those impossible mathematical voodoo things that are never going to happen, they're happening. Like, it is happening now.
Yep.
And
well, that's the thing. Mathematically, Max had to win. Mm-hmm. This he couldn't lose. I can't remember what the point difference had to be for. I think it was 9 points, or something like that, to Lando this week.
Yeah.
Which it wasn't. And not only that, but now he's gained a whole chunk of points. Mm-hmm. And if anybody's going to be able to do this, now, technically, mathematically, for the last 2 races, including the sprint, Lando has to finish at least in 6th sixth in one of the races, the full-on races, not the sprint race. And Max still has to win all three.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean there can't be another not disqualification, but another DNF for Lando.
No.
And now all of a sudden, this thing is wide open because both Lando and Piastri. This also plays into Piastri as well, because Piastri would have finished, what was it, fourth? Lando in second. Lando would have extended that lead a little bit more today. Oscar came out smiling after seeing the stewards yesterday because he's still closer than he was at the end of the race.
Yeah. Well, so just for numbers, when Lando came second, pre-disqualification, he was sitting at 408. And
Max at
Oscar,
366.
Yeah, 366.
And Oscar would have been at
370,
3 something. Yeah.
379, I
Whatever,
think, somewhere in there. With the disqualification, Lando drops. So that was if we're saying we want Max to win the championship, that was a difference of 42 points. So that is 2 race wins, which we have 2 races left, so still possible. And then there's a sprint left as well.
Yeah.
So 42 points, and assuming Lando doesn't gain any points.
Mm-hmm.
With the disqualification, Lando drops to 390.
Yes.
Stays
at
Max
390.
390.
Yeah.
Oscar and Max are at 366. They're both, so Max has now caught Oscar.
They're both 24 points. Yeah.
Who was also our drivers' championship leader for 80% of this season.
And for some reason, Oscar can't even put a podium together in the last 5 races.
Four or five races.
Whatever it was. Yeah.
So we are now 24 points. As a reminder, you get 25 points for winning a Grand Prix.
Yeah.
So this is really, again, there's still I want to say the impossible of Max has to win all 3, but it's Max. It's not impossible.
It's not impossible for Max to win all 3.
No.
But we do need Lando to have, I would say, one of his worst weekends, other than this weekend. I'd say it's probably his worst weekend.
Yeah.
But even just driving-wise, because I don't think that McLaren's really going to mechanically fuck up unless his engine just blows up out of nowhere. He needs to have one of his worst race weekends that he's had all year.
Yeah. Here's what the problem is. It's possible. Because we are going into Qatar, which they have now done this mandatory 2-stop.
2-stop.
You got to change the tires, 25 laps, and 25 including what they go through during free practice and qualifying.
Yes.
So, like you had said, and I mean, we both said it many times, we don't like to see a race won in the pits and, pit lane damage and pit lane. I think everybody that watches the Qatar Grand Prix needs to watch every pit stop that happens, because I think it's going to be a mess.
An absolute shit show.
Yeah, any chance that McLaren messes up a pit stop,
or you get released wrong and you touch in the pits because somebody else is on their mandatory stop, their second one that they wouldn't normally take.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, there goes Lando's front wing.
Yeah. I mean, Lando and Oscar can't have a penalty go up against them at this point. They don't have room for a 5-second penalty or a 10-second penalty. Unless they're 46 seconds ahead of everybody else. But I mean,
and you're not going to see Max make a mistake now. It's not going to happen. We saw it.
No way.
We saw it at the first lap 1 of this race. He took his opening. He took it calmly, and he didn't look back once.
Yeah.
He's not going to be like we talked about earlier. Max when he hit George earlier in the year, which when we talked about it, if Max lost 9 points because of that stupid mistake. It wasn't a mistake. He did it on purpose. But that stupid decision he made. In that race. If he loses from anything less than 9 points, or anything less than 9 points, he's going to kick himself, because that would have been the deciding factor in this
this season
championship. Thank you.
The championship.
It's train of thought here. He's not going to make a mistake. So they have to be perfect.
No, and I mean, Max doesn't often make mistakes.
No.
We used to say Oscar doesn't often make mistakes either. Um, this season, the second half of the season, has he made many mistakes? Not really.
I'm more convinced with the other drivers that something is a little untoward in the McLaren
Yes.
garage.
Yeah, which we actually, that is a part of our news that Oscar, Pierre Gasly and Max both made comments that they find it
Suspicious.
strange.
Yeah.
Quote unquote strange. And they both said strange. That's why I'm saying
That he's just lost pace out of nowhere, or he
Yeah.
just forgot how to drive.
Yeah.
Now there was also and I guess we could talk about now. We don't have to talk about it. Matt Oscar accidentally retweeted Bernie Ecclestone's comments about why McLaren favor Lando over Oscar, which was he was probably in bed doom scrolling and saw that, and his finger probably touched it. Pretty sure he didn't mean to. I'm pretty sure he also doesn't mind. He absolutely agrees with him.
Yeah. He was like, I like you, Bernie.
Yeah,
But accidentally hit.
Which he apologized for and took it down.
Yeah.
But so we know, like, let's take Oscar out of it, because we know Oscar's car is probably not working the way he likes it, or he's liked it the full length of the season. Obviously, there's something going on different.
Yeah.
Whether he just doesn't like it or his car's being messed with, I don't care. Either way, it's not the same as it was in the first half of the season.
Yeah.
Lando, we're going to get back into the conversation about the Lando pressure scenario. Because if Max is on his ass or Max takes a pole, that we saw it today again, first lap. Lando didn't know how to handle this sort of, and it wasn't even like aggressiveness from Max. It was just he was there.
Lando did this to himself, and he admitted it.
Oh, yeah.
He said it in the post race. He said, plain and simple, I fucked up.
Yeah.
He's laughing about it. Oscar and George are laughing about it because, I mean, one of them actually even says, I think that's a fine. But I mean, Max didn't have to do anything other than drive.
He just drove straight,
and he made Lando buckle. And I do think, high pressure. He is going after his first. He can taste the championship. I mean, we saw 2021 Max versus Lewis.
And
Max made a lot of he made a lot of mistakes during that season. Right now, Max has nothing to lose.
No. He was not even a thought in contention for
He didn't think this was going to happen
from the beginning of the season. Yeah.
Yeah. And even more recently, as he started to win again and, see the McLarens, I don't want to say failing. They're not failing, but
no.
McLaren's having issues. Even he's still like, it's really hard. Like, it's 50-50. Yeah. So right now, and he has 4 championships. So this is Lando going for his first one. Lando has to be perfect.
Yeah.
But like I said, Max made mistakes in his championship and his first championship. Many people will think that it was cheating that we won.
It's not cheating. Max didn't do anything. Well, let's go through this again. Max didn't do anything. Max drove and he played within the rules.
Yeah,
right?
It's not his fault.
Whether you have a problem, you think that Lewis was robbed, that's one thing. That's your issues with the FIA. It's not with Max.
Yeah, not with Max, not with Lewis, not with Toto or Christian. That all helped in the hype of it all. But
you can say Max was helped by the FIA, sure, but that's not Max's decision. He just drove to whatever he was told to do. Yeah, it was green lights and he went.
Yeah, so I mean, I just. Can the pressure get to somebody? Yeah, and I think we're seeing that right now. It's good for my predictions if Max wins the championship. And I think I would like to see it from this point that how he's been able to turn this around and just make a team buckle the way that they have. And even George, right? Because George was only knocked out of contention last week. 2 weeks ago. So, I mean, they've really put this pressure on McLaren, and they've made McLaren make their own mistakes. So
I
good
I
on them.
I can't wait until Max wins. I also can't wait to see because I feel like I know McLaren's already won the constructors. They've done their
Hmm.
job, and they're just hoping they can get a race, a championship for.
Yeah,
I know they'll say either of the drivers, but
Lando.
he wants it. Yeah,
Yeah,
Zach wants it for Lando.
yeah,
Let's be honest here.
yeah,
He's his poster boy. He's one of the more marketable drivers in
yeah,
F1, definitely in England.
yeah.
So he wants us, and just to see his sour face when
Hmm.
Max wins that championship is going
Hmm.
to be chef's kiss.
Yeah, even when he says like, "Oh, if we're gonna lose it to anybody, I'd rather it be Max." Okay, then let it be Max.
Oh,
Let
oh,
it be.
you're not gonna be able to lose it to anybody else. So
Yeah, yeah. So, um, yeah, I think it'll be interesting. Um, yeah.
yeah,
So that was the Las Vegas Grand Prix. We've kind of talked about, we've
all our news.
incorporated a
Yeah,
little bit of our news,
I'm
but
pretty sure
I
it's almost
think,
all of it.
yeah, I think the only one,
Oh, the one I had to tell
w-
you.
oh yeah. Well, let me tell you the
Okay.
Lewis bit. It's a little bit about the race
Yes.
still.
Yes.
Um, so Lewis, we already said he said it was a weekend to forget. It's a season to forget. Um, Lewis was asked in his post race, how we think it went. Not well. Like, hello, not well. But his comments, and again, he was very down. We were still at the casino. It was still loud. Um, we could kind of hear, "This is my worst season ever."
Yeah.
He says, "Worst season ever," which on paper, yeah, it is. um, but his comments were, "It's a terrible result. There is nothing positive to take from today. I'm eager for it to end. I'm looking forward to it ending. I'm not looking forward to the next one." The interviewer at the time was like, "Not looking forward to Qatar?" And he says, "No, the next season."
Yeah. Sounds like he just
Pardon?
wants to be done with Ferrari.
Yeah. Which we all saw that this was not a good move for him, but it kind of like, I don't know, especially with his change in attitude. And he did have the change of attitude while he was still at Mercedes. We
Yeah.
saw, after that 2021 season. But it really sucks that there's going to be this red mark on his, which is Ferrari red mark, on his memoir. Um, and it's going to be the worst part of it. Like,
Sometimes the grass isn't greener on the other side, especially
yeah,
going into
yeah,
you jump ship because you want to go to Ferrari. I get okay, everybody wants to go to Ferrari. There's also something to be said for loyalty, and regulation changes are coming. You've worked with the other team, with your team, sorry, Mercedes,
yeah,
with the new car and all that. So I get it if you're tired of the same old thing,
right.
but first of all, you were going into a team that has traditionally over the last 5 years have been looked at as clowns when it comes to their strategy and all that, and all these decisions they make.
Yeah.
But just because you wanted to drive for Ferrari Red and you were treated like Jesus when you came over there,
And the money,
and the
the
money, yes.
$100 million that you,
Mercedes would have given him that. They would have given him that. They're
yeah,
the other than Ferrari, they're the most profitable brand in F1.
yeah.
So
Well, and it's every team goes through a rebuilding year or years. It takes a
yeah.
couple years for some teams to rebuild. Look at Williams.
Well, and
2 years
rebuild, you're
ago,
still in second.
yeah, well, exactly. 2 years ago, or a couple years ago, Williams couldn't scrounge together 1 point.
Yeah.
And now they're possibly going to finish this season in fifth with not even with what, two podiums?
Yeah.
Two podiums. And they're going to finish possibly in fifth.
Yeah.
So, and since the 2021 season happened, that was whatever. 2022, Max dominates. 2023, Max dominates. 2024, and even in 2023, McLaren is getting podiums. Or not McLaren, Mercedes.
Yeah.
2024, Mercedes is winning races.
Yep.
And so again, it was just a rebuild a couple of years. You just had to make it through the rebuild. You would have had all the rights to the rebuild information and how you wanted it to be built around you. I don't know. You leave because of it's kind of looking like you left for money.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I mean, I think it was Nico Rosberg that called him. A few pundits actually called him out and said, "When have we ever heard Lewis say he wants to race in red?" And these are guys that grew up with him
Yeah.
racing. So if they're saying they never heard him say it, and he's saying, "Oh, we all want to race in red," I don't know. I can't imagine this is even remotely fun for him. And it's like you're going out and
Did it to yourself.
yeah.
I don't think he's going to go out.
I think
I think he'll go somewhere else. I mean,
But
but the only
even
place
still,
where is
is
he going to go? Yeah.
is there a championship there? Probably not.
There could be a rejoin of McLaren. You never know.
Of McLaren.
I don't think Piastri stays. We could talk about that
Yeah,
another time.
fair. Yeah,
We could talk
another
about that
day. Another day.
Yeah, we can talk about that.
Anyways, that's my little Lewis rant
Yeah.
hot take. So you had a bit of news there.
Yeah, well, nobody's ever called this. I'm calling it this. There might be another Verstappen rule, but it's just not an actual Verstappen rule. So there was the not confusion. The when excuse me, Red Bull switched out their power unit for purely for performance. Right, it wasn't for strategy. It was performance. There was an underperforming power unit, and they thought that it would fail on them. So they switched it out last week, right? Last race. This was last race.
Okay.
It was what was the last race? Mexico. So they switched out in Mexico. And so McLaren and Zach Brown had put out this thing to the FIA, like, what is this? Like, are they getting something toward their cost cap? Because it's not like if we damage something, it's going to be cost cap. Blah, blah. So they had asked for clarification on that. Apparently, they had found a loophole in the regulations. So, I'll read a post here.
Red Bull found the loophole.
Yes. The ambiguity lies in whether teams must include the cost of the new power unit if they fit it purely for a performance boost, as was suggested, but with Red Bull in Brazil by McLaren. The regulations only strictly mandate including costs for PUs damaged by the team. Nothing for switching it out for a performance boost. So the FIA admitted that they have to accept the team's claim of a change being for reliability reasons, as they don't have technical expertise to prove it's purely a strategic move. So they can't prove that it's just strategic. Red Bull put it as reliability issues coming out. This is going to change in 2026.
Oh,
They are going to change the regulations. So a new regulation, because Red Bull found a loophole to switch out Max's power unit where he got a performance boost for reliability issues. And it doesn't cost toward the cost cap because of that, because there was no damage involved.
okay.
But if it had failed,
So here's my
then they would have.
So here's my thing with that. McLaren has been playing this game a little bit all year. All the teams do. We just hear about it with the bigger teams. McLaren changed their wing, or I can't remember exactly all the details, their front wing or something, or their rear wing in Miami. Christian, I think, called it out because Christian was still there at that point. Christian called it out and said, don't like this, whatever. FIA says, McLaren, just don't use it. Just go back to the old one. You're not going to be penalized. Don't worry.
But that was the slot gap.
The slot, yes.
That was a design issue. That was against the regulations.
So last week, a few teams make these changes. We don't get to hear what teams it was. And
Generally,
it was just another, oh, just please don't do that. You're not going to get in trouble. Just don't do it. But the minute Red Bull does something, it's like...
Zach's right on it.
Yeah, like you guys consistently get the slap on the wrist. So like even the disqualification today, I'm like, you know what? Kind of deserved. Because you keep being
poking the bear. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I just thought when you were saying that, I was like, McLaren plays this game They're playing the wrong games.
Yeah.
David Coulthard is right. They're playing the wrong
win on track.
games.
Don't win
Yeah.
in the steward's office.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Toto tried to do it. Has tried
Yeah.
to win in the steward's office.
It doesn't seem like Red Bull gets screwed over a lot there.
No.
They read that
No.
rule book back to front and
They
front
know
to back
everything.
usually.
Yeah. Yeah. Back to front. Yeah. I mean, I think for the most part, I think Red Bull knows what they're doing and how to do it when they make changes or whatever.
Yeah.
They probably have some like professor of something that reads the rule books all times.
Oh yeah.
Lawyer.
Oh, that was the other thing. Sorry, there is another bit of news that's a little odd. Now I have to find it here. But oh, here we go. We might have some controversy starting in 2026.
Oh God.
So I don't know if you read this. Jason Somerville, the FIA's head of aerodynamics. So he checks all they set the rules for aerodynamics and all that stuff and all the regulations and all the rules. He also checks on other teams' aerodynamic specs to make sure that they fall within regulations, all that. Has stepped down and will reportedly join the new Cadillac F1 team in May of 2026 after serving a 6-month gardening leave.
That's
So the man
cheating.
who was in charge of the regulations and checking regulations and ensuring that all teams fall within these regulations. So he's seen all these specs for 2026, probably, or at least initial whatever
readings,
documents for those. He is going to join the new rival team, and that's fine as long as he comes in 6 months later.
No, cheating. That's cheating.
It's within the It's in the rules. Within the rules, this man can go work for whoever he wants, as long as he waits that 6 months. So we might not see a great Cadillac in the first half. We might see a great Cadillac in the second half or 2027. But
Yeah.
I don't mind this play by Cadillac.
Drama.
They lured away the big fish, and they
Smart.
have now intel on the other 10 teams.
Smart.
It is. I don't mind it. Now this is pure American villain territory here.
Andretti is just like he is
Yeah.
villain. He's in his villain era. Starting out in his villain era. Again, I say Andretti because we know he's still
Oh, he's got
a
an axe
backer
to grind.
of Cadillac.
So yeah, I didn't know if you had heard that. Almost forgot.
No,
about
I
that
did
one.
not. I did not. But it's a race weekend, so fresh set, dirty air.
Fresh set. Would you like to go first, or would I?
I can go. Oh, well, we actually totally missed with the disqualification that promoted up George to second, and Kimmy.
It promoted
was-
everybody up. George was the only one who went up 1. Everybody else went up 2.
Yeah. So Kimmy got a podium. His
Kimmy
second
goes
or
to
third podium,
Yep.
I think, this year.
He goes to P3, and which he is not able to go to the clubs in Vegas. So they did a little ceremony. They put on some lights in a room, and he came in with his helmet, and they made his own little club and a little JBL speaker. And Hamilton goes to 8th. A few more points.
Yeah, so it's not a whole wash of a race, but yeah. Anyways, fresh set. I am going to. I mean, I think I just have to go with the race weekend. It was just the epitome of the right kind of shit show. Like it was good. It was a shit show, but it was good.
Yeah.
There wasn't, major crashes and injuries, and there was red flags during
And there was some damages
practice,
in the
but-
practices and qualifying. And whatever.
Yeah, but it just had the rain, which causes just enough drama to mess up the qualifying, just enough, drama in the race to just make everything interesting. So I'm just going to go with the overall race weekend.
Yeah. The easy one would be Kimmy, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to give, although I think he should have won driver of the day.
Yeah.
It shouldn't have been Max because He got away after 10 laps, and that was it. He was done.
Yeah.
Charles Leclerc drove amazing in the race, passing 2 people in 1 lap, and he was making all the right moves. He did finish. How did he finish again? 6th now. Well, he got promoted to 5th. He finished 7th.
Yeah.
No, wait, that's the standings. Whatever. Either way, he drove, and just to watch him drive, it was amazing to watch him drive. He was promoted to 4th. He finished 6th. He loves that last chicane to make his passes. He's done it every single year, and he loves to make it right there. And which it's a very dangerous place to probably do it. And it probably freaks people out when he sees him coming up on the inside and he takes it anyways.
Yeah, they're like, he's not going to do this.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I think his drive besides Kimmy's was probably my favorite of the race.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It's a good race for him.
And it's good for me to say Charles instead of you for 1 week.
Yeah, exactly. I'll pay you. Pay you later. Dirty Air. I am going to say, I mean, I feel like I've said this before, but I'm going to say Lewis. Not because of his drive, just like the overall attitude. He had a bad quality, which, like you said, it was based off pace, not impeding, not, not getting to the line or anything. Like, it was pace. And the attitude, it's just, it's kind of, it's just really sad to see a 7-time world champion currently still racing, just so miserable.
Maybe if he didn't take Beyonce around and focus more on racing instead of, now it sound like John Elkin.
Yeah. Which we complained about last week. Now you're like, I get it, John.
I get it. Yeah.
Let's have John on.
He's right. He's right.
Yeah.
My Dirty Air. I don't want to do it because I've said it so many times this year, but it's got to be McLaren. Mm-hmm. You can't keep cutting your drivers off at the knees. Yeah. I know you don't know what happened. There was exceptional porpoising at the end of it, which probably would have caused more degradation on that skid plate. Maybe it was that they misjudged the fuel. If you've misjudged the fuel, then you really fucked up. Yeah. You can't keep cutting off your drivers at the knees. You can't do this, especially when they're in a title fight. It's now you brought an almost sure thing into a very tight situation, and who knows what's going to happen. Anything can happen in any of these races. We've seen it before. They might bring Latifi back out for Abu Dhabi. Who knows?
Anything could happen.
Anything could happen. You can't keep doing this to your drivers and then being like, I have no idea, sorry. And then you keep fucking them in the end. Like you're doing it to one or the other, and then you're playing favor. Like it's happened all season long, and it's got to stop. You got 2 races to fix it, and then everybody else will forget about it.
Exactly. This is and I said it a few episodes ago, but this is essentially why you need to pick a 1 and 2, because all of this could have been avoided, and we could have a Lewis Bottas situation. We could be having a Max Sergio situation where it's literally just like, hey, we're going to qualify 1-2 and we're just going to piss everybody off.
Yeah.
And you pick based at that time who was number 1, and it was Oscar. Sorry. Like it is what it is. It was Oscar at the time. So they did it to themselves.
They did it to themselves, yep. And it'll be so sweet when it's not either of them winning.
I think
which I don't like to say, because I do like both of them as drivers.
Yeah. I think they need to learn a little bit of a lesson. And it's not even so much them. It's like McLaren needs to learn the lesson so that the drivers can be like, listen, we're in charge now. Yeah.
I don't care about them learning lessons. I just want to see Max win his greatest title.
Yeah.
Of the 5 so far.
This would probably feel the best, this one.
I think he'd still probably think 21 was more of a fight.
Yeah. Yes.
And then this one would probably be his best one.
Yeah.
But not his most hard fought one. I don't know if that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it does.
Yeah. I know what you mean. But yeah, so 2 more races. Wow, 1 sprint next week. We will be back with a race review. We're getting to the end.
We're getting to the end, and I will be wearing this jersey every weekend.
Okay.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Okay.
It's not gonna. It's gonna smell. It's gonna smell.
It's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, we will be back. No, I don't. So it's fine with me. We will be back, and we'll see you guys next time.
Yep. Grab a fresh set.
Bye.